I'm Chris McCoy. I'm a senior here at Lindenwood. I play sled hockey and I'm a goalie. So I started when I was 13 years old. A friend of my dad's, he plays sled hockey. He actually started the team here in St. Louis. He asked me to come out and try it, and from the second I hit the ice, I knew it was something that I would love. So did that, played on the St. Louis development team for 1 year, then got the call up to the St. Louis adult team. I played on there for 8-9 years now. 2018, I got named to the U.S. men's development team, so that was pretty cool. I got to travel around to all across the United States, to Canada, and play with some of the best up-and-coming players in the country. I had the opportunity last year to travel with the U.S. national team to the Czech Republic to play a series out there for the IPH Cup, which we ended up winning. We went undefeated in that, and I got a little bit of game time, so it was pretty cool. Growing up, I obviously dreamed about being a hockey player, playing in the NHL one day, and obviously because of my disability, that wasn't an option. But being able to make that team and go play the best of your sport in the world over in a foreign country was pretty incredible. I mean, there was a little bit of a culture shock over there because it's a heck of a lot different than it is here. You know, nobody knows your language. There's a big language barrier there, but it was really cool. You know, we got to go and skate with the Czech national team. We ended up practicing with them for the first few days there, which was really cool because we got to see what it was like, you know, how they practice and get to talk to them. So it was pretty awesome. Sled hockey's pretty much the exact same as regular stand-up hockey. There's only two rule differences, which is T-boning, which is one of the penalties. That's the biggest difference. It's like a car crash. You know, you can't take the nose of your sled and run it into the side of somebody else and things like that. But other than that, it's the exact same game. We just play sitting down, and we have two sticks. Instead of one, they have little metal picks on the end. So as you can see, they're definitely a lot smaller than a regular stand-up skit. But you have our blade here for shooting and stick handling, and on the end we have two metal picks that are used to dig into the ice. Pretty much whenever I was born, I was leaking spinal fluid out of my back because my back didn't fully enclose itself and heal correctly as it should. So leaking spinal fluid obviously is not ideal when you're born, you know, kind of need that. But so it really doesn't affect too much considering I know in more severe cases, the entire spine is shown, like there is no healing process done to it. And those are people who they'll never be able to walk in their life. So thankfully, I had a very minor case, so I'm allowed walk with a limp, get a little tired, a lot easier than other people do. Can't go as long distances, can't do a lot of sprinting and things like that. But for the most part, that's the only thing that really affects me compared to anything else. The sled here, it's two titanium tubes on each side. Usually they have a little T inside to make it more sturdy. On top of that, we have a nose piece, which is also made out of titanium. That's for our feet to go into, make sure they stay nice and protected. So we sit on a metal blade system. It's a little bracket that holds two normal ice skate blades. So that's obviously what we sit on and skate on. And then we have a plastic bucket that we sit in. It's usually molded to our bodies for a tight fit. So goalie for us in sled hockey is probably harder than it is for regular stand-up hockey because obviously we're sitting down and we play with regulation size NHL nets. So it's the same size as a stand-up game. So we take up a lot less of the net. So it's mainly a big speed factor for sled hockey goalies. So I don't wear a leg pad in order to be able to move more freely on the ice. And also in a goalie sled, we sit on plastic blades that allow us from side to side to side. We get that good cross crease movement. Other than that, it's very similar. Obviously, we have a blocker and a glove as well as a stick. And same with the goalie mask as well. That usually gets beat up pretty bad whenever you take up half the net, and you know, because I'm sitting in net, my head is right in the center of the net, so it's prime target opportunity to get hit there. But for the most part, it's the exact same. I mean, these skaters are at the high level. They're just as good as any NHL player. They're shooting the puck 70, 80 miles an hour. So it's just as fast of a game, just as difficult. So for sled hockey, I would love to make the U.S. national team in the next few years. Right now I'm shooting for the Milan Olympics in 2026. That's the main goal right now, is to try to get there, whether it's at a backup or a starting role. Trying to crack the roster there and play on that team for a few years. I'd like to get 2 or 3 Paralympic cycles in my career before I hang it up. And just outside, I really would like to get into work with an NHL organization preferably head coaching, head scouting, whatever, something along those lines. But hockey's been a big part of my life, and I want to keep it that way.